What day is it? Is it Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Yeah. It's September 6th. Almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Belly's feeling a little under the weather today. But it turned out to be a good day. We had a little spot of rain around 2 o'clock came through and kind of dropped the humidity and lowered down the temps a little bit. But he actually trimmed a couple of the hydrangea flowers out, but as you can see, we're still getting blossoms coming up. Late afternoon is bright, but it's also a really good time to get some sun behind the flowers. More riding mower problems. Something electrical this time. We replaced the battery. It still doesn't want to start. It just clicks. So Dee spent a couple hours yesterday trying to diagnose and trace some wires, and still nothing. Garden's good. We pulled all but one of the celery so far. Still doing really good. And we did notice that this eggplant does have... Where were you? We saw you. Where were you? Ah, this one over here. Little eggplant starting down there. So that's one. Bunch of flowers. And it's actually spreading along the ground. We noticed that too. It's I have some pepper flowers. Not holding up much hope for the peppers. It's getting really late in the season. But the tomatoes are taking to being trimmed pretty good. We did end up putting a stake with some string on it just to pull the bamboo back. But as you can see, lots of tomatoes in there. So now we're just waiting for them to ripen. And the butternut squash is doing fantastic. There's one in there. That one's probably not going to make it, but that's a good one. There's a good one. There's a good one. That one's looking good so far. There's another one over there. There's another one back there. And there's 3. We'll see if they make it. Oop, 4, 5. And there was a new growth that I saw that had more flowers on it too. And they look like they're all female flowers. Oh, there's another one started. So we might get a lot of butternut squash. That remains to be seen. Little by little, nature's doing good. And look what happened here. Hazelnut is dropping off the tree. More in here too. So I think what happens is that finishes drying out on the ground if it's good, and squirrels will pretty much come and take it. But I'm not seeing any more left on the tree. Might be some here or there, but yeah, autumn is not official yet, but it is moving in quickly. These are some of the shorter sunflowers we have. There's a couple of lingering lilies. And bee balm still has a couple little petals left on it. Alright, everybody's waiting for it. Here are the sunflowers. Try not to blind you, but this one here is obviously pretty tall. Give you an idea how high it is. I'll stand here at the end of the row. Here's the fence, which is at about my chest level. A nice row. We got some variegation in here. We got some variety. Dee said she did plant quite a few of the mixed, but I don't mind mostly yellow. I think they're absolutely stunning. And this morning I noticed, I was looking out the bathroom window and a chickadee was hopping around checking out all the sunflowers. There's one down at the end that he was chewing on. There's some variety in here. Oh yeah. Just love it when the breeze takes them. Oh yeah, this is the one I think the chickadee was nibbling on. I think overall, I think they're definitely taller this year. I know the ones we planted down by the chicken coop, we had some tall ones. And then they wound up falling over, and I know the donkeys maybe had a buddy help them. Just checking out the bee on that sunflower. So they kind of got chewed up a little bit earlier. But yeah, some of those were tall. But last year by the house, I don't think we had any quite that tall. What you doing, chickies? I'm checking out the corn. This actually grew up quite a bit. This is just about at my eye level now. So we have a little corn in the making down there, a little tassel. So probably not even as thick as my finger, but hey, if we keep getting good, dry, warm weather, we may get a little bit of corn. Hydrangea's doing good. These guys are finally flowering out, although I don't remember what they're called. Dee had some really good news regarding the hydrangea. It's actually starting to spread on its own. Down here, it's actually walking out of the ground, and it's even flowering in some of the new growth. That's not a fallen branch, that's new growth coming up. So that's fantastic. So this is definitely fully established now. Back here it's a little more sad. You know, only a few petals left on the bee balm. But it is going to seed, which is good. Very, very good. We drove by, we were going to get hay today, and a couple of houses had beautiful big gardens of the later black-eyed Susan, just like that, with the multiple on each plant. Nice and thick. Very healthy looking. Oh, Dahlia, are you going to bloom this year? Maybe not. That's okay, as long as you're healthy. It doesn't look like anything's eating it. Maybe a couple little spots, but nothing too bad. Demove the rest of the impatiens over here from in front of the house because it was starting to get too hot in the afternoons. I think it's that patch over there. We're trying to keep the hummingbird feeders topped off because we know they're going to be heading out soon on their long migration. Nasturtium's almost gone. I mean, there's still some baby leaves and a little bit in here, but it's not in its glory like it was earlier. Yeah, something really is eating this plant up good. Otherwise, it looks healthy. Looks like it's getting the right amount of water and sun. This one too, something's definitely chewing on it. Interesting. I don't know if you can see in there, I had put in the spring when I was doing for the ticks, I had put one of those rolls in there, and I've been looking at it periodically throughout the year, and it definitely looks like the chipmunks or whatever critters have gone in there and pulled out the cotton balls with the stuff in it. So it's getting to be, well, yeah, I should probably start another batch of that so I can do the second treatment for the fall. So any critters that are looking to den over, keep the ticks out. So this is a kind of a little keeper house. What we have in here is a moth. This right here, and we know it's a Cecropia, which I have a video up on the channel from the spring. Unexpectedly, we didn't know until our friend identified. We had a good idea with the cocoon, or I know with moths it's different, but what that was. So we actually found the caterpillar this fall. We saw it climbing up by the donkey area on its way toward the electric fence, so we saved it, and we decided to keep it over in here. And this just keeps it safe. It's all breathable. It just kind of protects it from critters, and that way, you know, in the spring we'll watch for it, and when it opens, hopefully I'll be able to get another good video. And speaking of critters, oh, they're right there. Every year we get a giant hornet's nest somewhere in the yard. We had one up the driveway, just off into the woods, and it was about at my head level, so it was pretty dangerous. Prior to that, we had one up on our electric service, and it was completely all like wed into like the cross timbers and stuff. A year prior to that, just up above the driveway, I had one just around the bend up there. It was hanging. It wasn't that big, but it was in a bad space because I still had firewood up there and I was moving vehicles underneath it, and it was just low enough that it could get disturbed, so I had to actually burn that one down. But we had another big one. There was a maple over there somewhere that it was on. We had another big one in that maple just above the goats, and I didn't even realize it until about this time of year, or maybe just a little bit later, August. Never bothered the goats, never bothered us, but it's just shocking when you see something like that that's like right over your head the whole time. And I do have a problem in the barn. They do keep coming back in there, but it's not too bad. But yeah, that one's a good size one. So anyway, that's about it for an update. It's a gorgeous afternoon, very bright, nice breeze. So I hope you're enjoying your Labor Day weekend. I hope it's relaxing, and I hope your riding mower is working for you. Until next time.